Alright, listen up fellow 24 FPS enjoyers. Times have changed and refresh rates are rising faster than my desk when I heard a 240Hz 4K glossy OLED was coming soon. But do you really need all those frames? I mean, everybody knows the human eye can only see 3 frames per second, so why are we wasting so many resources on pumping out more and more frames? Well, in order to find out, first we gotta break down the advantages of higher frame rates, which are twofold. One, the higher the frame rate, the lower the input lag, which means instead of being hard stuck in rookie, you might make it all the way to the bottom of bronze. For example, 30 FPS, the most cursed target, has a total delay of 33.3 milliseconds. 60 FPS has a delay of 16.6 milliseconds. 120 FPS has a delay of 8.3 milliseconds. 240 FPS a delay of 4.16 milliseconds, and 360 FPS a delay of 2.7 milliseconds. As you can see, the higher the refresh rate, the lower the input lag, which means you can track targets quicker, at least in theory, but you can also see that there's hugely diminishing returns starting at around 120 FPS. This is the reason why most console games target 60 FPS, as it's far easier to achieve, and when using a controller, the difference in input lag isn't as noticeable. But on PC, you'll find people begging you to put them out of their misery if they're forced to go to a plebeian 60 Hz. I can definitely tell the difference between 4 milliseconds using a good mouse, but that doesn't necessarily mean it'll make you better. In theory, yes, it can, but in practice, I find that most people play barely any better with 4 milliseconds lower latency. But does that mean it's a waste? Well, hold on there, cowboy. We gotta talk about the second advantage. Higher frame rates means smoother images in motion, and this is the biggest benefit to going higher than 120 Hz. As I've shown in many reviews, this can lead to a substantially cleaner image in motion, but this too has diminishing returns, especially on LCD trash, where many LCD-based displays, especially the trash VA panels, can struggle to take advantage of higher refresh rates as the display simply can't keep up and looks blurry regardless. This is a big reason why many gamers are busting fat nuts all over their elbows and rubbing it in like lotion over OLED technology. OLED has much faster response times, thus it can take advantage of higher refresh rates with ease. But that still doesn't answer the question. Is 240 Hz really a waste? And the answer is yes and no. For most single-player games, the benefits just simply aren't worth the doubling of resources required to play over 120 Hz, at least in my opinion. Of course, a little bit of preference there, depending on which you prefer, but for multiplayer competitive gaming, 240 Hz may be worth trying to use, as you will get a cleaner image in motion and lower input lag for those really fast-paced games like Shower with Your Dad Simulator. But will it make you a pro gamer? No. I've played better on 120 Hz than people at 360 Hz, and I've had people do better than me at 120 Hz when I was at 240 Hz. So while it does have its benefits, I wouldn't be wailing and gnashing your teeth or crying yourself to sleep at night over it. If you have at least a 120 Hz high quality display, you should be reasonably competitive unless you're garbage. And for God's sake, don't stretch your image, you monsters. It gives you literally zero advantage. If you want that so bad, just turn your FOV down. Christ on a bike. Whether you're looking to connect a new console, gaming PC, or just need a fast and reliable HDMI cable to connect over long distances, Rupro has you covered with their certified 8K HDMI 2.1 fiber optic cable, available in sizes of up to 50 feet and can deliver a perfect full 48 gigabits per second connection over distances other cables could only dream of reaching. And with 48 gigabits per second of bandwidth, it can easily drive 8K 60 FPS or 4K 144 FPS 10-bit HDR video through its ultra-thin, flexible, and durable housing, and it even supports ER. So if you're in the market for a cable that can drive a beautiful new TV or monitor, be sure to check out Rupro on Amazon today.